So please join me in welcoming Jenny Hsu and listening to her reading of her essay entitled North Castle's Vital Role in Securing American Independence.
That deserves a round of applause.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Thank you, Allison, for introducing me. So during my internship, I really enjoyed working with various departments, and it was a great opportunity to learn and grow and see what happens behind the scenes of the town that I live in. And I met so many amazing people that welcomed me into their departments with open arms and prepared meticulously for the day that I would come in and work with them. And this opportunity was made possible by everyone that I met, especially Josephine, who was the first person that I reached out to about a possible summer internship. So after rotating around several departments and with careful consideration, I finally made my pick, and I chose to work with the town clerk's office on the essay that I'm about to read today. Thank you. Long before highways carved through New York, and long before the flag of a new nation waved proudly overhead, North Castle was a quiet farming town. Its hills were kissed by morning fog and creeks threaded through valleys like azure ribbons. But when revolution stirred across the colonies, North Castle did not stand still. It rose with quiet strength, offering its homes, hills, hearts, and lives to the cause of liberty. It began with a house, sturdy and unassuming. The Miller House, built around 1738, stood tucked into the hillside, surrounded by orchards and oak trees. It was home to Elijah and Anna Miller, a patriot family whose story reflects the quiet heroism of the American people. Elijah Miller was not a general or a statesman. He was a farmer, a father, and a Westchester County militiaman. In 1776, he joined the fight for independence and died in service that August. Two of his sons also died while serving in the Continental Army. Anna Miller, widowed and grieving, remained in their home. It was to her door that General George Washington came not once, but 3 times. When Washington entered Miller House, he was not a distant figure from her portrait. He was a guest, a wary leader carrying the weight of a fragile rebellion. In the parlor, by the hearth, he met with his officers under the flicker of candlelight. The house became his temporary headquarters in October 1776 and again in 1778 and 1780. The Miller House was also used as a field hospital for wounded soldiers during this time period. For those days, the cause of American liberty breathed through the walls of that modest farmhouse. The Miller House stands today a quiet witness to the American Revolution. Just beyond the house rises Miller Hill, a natural ridge that became a vital stronghold early in the Revolutionary War. On October 28, 1776, British General Sir William Howe advanced on White Plains, clashing with General George Washington's forces at Chatterton Hill. Though the Americans eventually withdrew, they did so in good order, retreating to the rugged terrain of North Castle. Nearby, Mount Misery, a high ridge in North Castle, also played a crucial role in the Continental Army's defensive strategy. As Washington's exhausted troops dug in, they braced for a renewed British assault. But the attack never came. Heavy rain stalled the British advance, giving Washington the opportunity to lead his army safely across the Bronx River. Some say it was the natural defenses of North Castle that helped save the Revolution that day. Along Bear Gutter Creek, in what is now known as North White Plains, stood Reuben Wright's mills. Wright, a Quaker miller, had dammed the stream to power his mills. Here, Washington's officers held a council of war in July 1778. They gathered above the whir of grinding stone and rushing water, discussing strategy and alliances. A record of Washington's lodging bill from July 25th still survives. British spy Major John Andre was held at Reuben Wright's mill after his capture. Though the buildings are now beneath the Kensico Reservoir, their role in history has not been washed away. Major Andre was later held at Thomas Wright's mill, a mill owned by Reuben's brother, a few miles north in what is now known as Armonk, a hamlet within the town of North Castle. A monument stands at this location commemorating the capture of this noted British spy. Then there was Smith's Tavern, a place of rest and resolve. The tavern was a significant landmark, serving as a stagecoach shop, a militia headquarters, a post office, and a place for town meetings. Located along the Danbury Post Road, which is now known as Bedford Road, it was the hub of North Castle's civic life. In July 1779, British troops retreating from Bedford tried to burn it down, but local militiamen drove them off. After the war, Continental Army Captain John Smith transformed the tavern into a symbol of American democracy, hosting town meetings and keeping the spirit of liberty alive. The building still stands as a gathering place filled with echoes from the past. Decisions that shaped the Revolution were made in homes like Miller House. Churches served as hospitals. French troops also camped near what is now Northern Westchester Hospital in Mount Kisco, which lies within the bounds of present-day North Castle. The troops set up Camp No. 13th on July 3rd to 5th, 1781, as a part of the march towards Yorktown. And through it all, families lived their lives with courage, planting fields between cannon fire and raising children under threat of invasion. North Castle gave something larger than vast arsenals. It gave safe hills, strong homes, and steadfast people. Situated in the neutral ground, a buffer between British Manhattan and Northern Territories, it was a place of constant danger. Neighbors became enemies, raids were common, and yet the people endured. They gave what they had to the dream of freedom. Today, the names of North Castle's patriots live on in its streets and parks. Examples include Elijah Miller Park, Smith's Tavern Historic Site, Miller House, and Miller Hill. While there isn't a single large Revolutionary War monument dedicated exclusively to soldiers in North Castle, several meaningful markers and sites honor the town's patriots. But they are more than names. They're reminders that history was not made only in battleground cities, but in small towns, rocky hills, and humble homes. The American Revolution was not won in a single moment. Instead, it was won in places like North Castle, where ordinary people did extraordinary things. There are 15 Revolutionary War soldiers known to be buried at Middle Patton Rural Cemetery. Their bravery was not loud, but it was unshakable. And in the rolling hills of this town, the heartbeat of the Revolution still echoes. Thank you.